Your chance to win $1,000 is tonight during News Channel 5 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Bob Schieffer. Under pressure from the White House, Newsweek today retracted a story that led to deadly rioting in Afghanistan. A report the magazine now says it cannot confirm. That's where we begin tonight. Then we'll have these stories.
I'm Mark Strassman in Iraq with a new twist on the never-ending violence here.
It's almost hurricane season. I'm Jim Acosta with a tale of two cities that are still cleaning up after last season.
I'm Anthony Mason. Real estate has become a red-hot investment, but is a bubble about to burst?
I'm Cheryl Atkinson. I'll tell you why wine lovers are toasting this woman and the Supreme Court.
This is the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
It all began last week when Newsweek quoted a government source as saying U.S. interrogators at the Guantanamo Bay prison camp desecrated a Koran in an attempt to get Muslim terror suspects to talk. The report led to a week of violent anti-American demonstrations in Afghanistan in which at least 15 people were killed. Then over the weekend, Newsweek said its source could no longer confirm the report, and the magazine's editor apologized. Then late today, under pressure from the White House, Newsweek retracted the entire story. John Roberts now with our coverage.
The Pentagon today called irresponsible the Newsweek report that interrogators at Guantanamo Bay flushed a copy of the Koran down a toilet to rattle detainees. The White House declared the story had damaged American credibility overseas.
I think that the American people are rightly outraged to learn about this report, and I think we share in that outrage as well. This report has had very serious consequences.
Since the report's publication, anti-American protest has flared across the Muslim world, including the deadly riots in Afghanistan. Newsweek began to back away from the story in an interview with CBS News yesterday.
Well, it looks like we made a mistake. We relied on a senior government official who's been a reliable source for us in the past.
The report does mirror claims made by former Guantanamo detainees that they were subject to religious harassment. But the White House today suggested those claims were mere propaganda.
We know that detainees are trained in the ability of misleading people and trying to spread negative reports.
White House officials called the retraction a good first step, but they insist Newsweek must do more, aggressively explain to the world and Muslims that their story was wrong in order to mitigate its fallout.
Pentagon officials said today they combed through thousands of investigative documents from Guantanamo and couldn't find one allegation to match the Newsweek story. All they could find was an unconfirmed report that a detainee had stuffed pages from a Koran into a toilet to plug it up as a form of protest. Bob?
John, does Newsweek have any idea what happened? Mike Isikoff, who wrote this story, is one of the best reporters in Washington. He wouldn't just make up something like this.
It sounds like what happened, Bob, was that a source thought that he'd read something somewhere. It turned out that he hadn't read what he thought he had read, and therefore came back and said, what I said before doesn't stand. And it may be the White House is suggesting, and the Pentagon as well, that it was just this other report that may have somehow gotten mixed up. Bob?
And apparently they got this from a government source who now says he didn't read what he thought he read.
Right. Apparently it was a very good source, somebody who's worked out for them in the past, but in this particular case didn't come through.
Okay. Thank you very much, John. In any case, Newsweek's decision to retract the report is not likely to make much difference to outraged Muslims. For them, the damage has been done, and it can't easily be undone. Correspondent Richard Roth now with that part of the story.
The rage that swept through Afghanistan and much of the Muslim world lasted almost a week. The fires are out now, but the anger is still burning.
The denial of Quran not being desecrated by the administration wouldn't actually go very well among the Muslim people, simply because Muslim worlds lost trust in the American administration.
There have been accusations of abuse from the time American troops began capturing prisoners in Afghanistan more than 3 years ago and sending hundreds to Guantanamo Bay. Detainees released in 2003 came home, claiming American guards had routinely provoked them by sitting on the Koran or putting pages in a toilet, an insult not just to an individual, but to a whole faith.
You have actually to respect and preserve this holy book. So to actually flush it in a toilet, this is the maximum insult which can be inflicted on a Muslim.
3 Britons released from Guantanamo last year made similar charges. In the past, U.S. officials have dismissed as propaganda the claim the Quran's been desecrated. Today in Afghanistan, a spokesman said it would also be wrong.
Any disrespect to the Quran and any other religion is not tolerated by our culture and our values. That goes against our beliefs, and we do not tolerate that.
But the issues touched a nerve, and clerics in Afghanistan are calling for the protest to continue. Richard Roth, CBS News, London.
Violence unrelated to the Newsweek report raged all weekend in another Central Asian country, Uzbekistan, leaving up to 700 dead there. Witnesses say that most victims were Muslim protesters shot by government soldiers whose armored vehicles line the streets of an eastern city today. It was the worst bloodshed in Uzbekistan since the former Soviet Republic gained independence in 1991. Looking to another trouble spot today, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice warned North Korea against testing a nuclear weapon. She said any such escalation of tensions by the North Koreans would, in her words, deepen their isolation a lot. Rice made the comment to reporters while flying home from a surprise weekend trip to Iraq. Iraq's Prime Minister Ibrahim al-Jafari made a surprise visit of his own today to the country's top Shiite cleric, Ayatollah Ali Sistani. Told the Prime Minister to bring more Sunnis into the government to help unify the country. But the latest round of killing seems intended to stir up civil war. Here's Mark Strassman now with that.
Another day, another series of horror stories. Tonight, 2 bombs exploded back-to-back in a Baghdad market, killing 9 more Iraqi soldiers. In 2 weeks, violent ambushes have killed almost 500 people. And police are now finding groups of bodies dumped around Baghdad. So far, roughly 50 men executed, many of them bound and blindfolded. 10 of them were Iraqi soldiers, the others ordinary civilians. Various insurgent groups are being blamed, from criminal gangs to religious extremists.
Some of it is revenge killing, either tribe on tribe or for some other perceived misdeed.
In Iraq Sunday, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice pleaded for patience.
We're fighting a very tough set of terrorists who are, it seems, determined to stop the progress of the Iraqi people.
Progress for Iraqi security forces is the arrest of insurgents, many of them non-Iraqis. Of these 5 suspects in a lethal attack on a market last week, 4 of them are Palestinians. But foreign fighters, widely blamed for suicide attacks, are mostly Saudis, not Palestinians. A recent survey on an Islamic website cataloged the nationalities of insurgents killed or captured in Iraq, and almost half of them were Saudis. No other country came close. But no one knows exactly how many there are or where they are. And too often, by the time Iraqis do find out where they are, it's too late. A bomb explodes, a neighborhood is destroyed. More families begin to grieve. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Baghdad.
A U.S. Marine killed in Iraq last week was buried today in Columbus, Ohio, with full military honors, and there are more funerals to come for other Marines from the same unit. Here is Cynthia Bowers.
Under a gunmetal gray Ohio sky, Marine Corporal Dustin Durga was saluted one final time today. The 24-year-old reservist was Bob Durga's only son.
So what kind of son was Dustin?
He lived hard, he played hard, he fought hard. He's a great kid.
Durga's funeral is the first of what will be 4 in coming days for Marines from the Columbus-based Lima Company. All died during last week's Operation Matador offensive in western Iraq. The so-called Lucky Lima unit shipped out in January. Since then, families have lived by the military's wartime credo, no news is good news. That silence was broken last week.
So one minute you have a normal life with, dinner cooking, and the next minute everything changes.
We regret to inform you.
Jody and Mike's son, Lance Corporal Wesley Davids, a young man who loved fast cars and rowing, was also killed in that same operation one day after his 20th birthday.
He was so patriotic and said, why should somebody else have to go serve?
Marine officials say these reservists and their families were told what to expect, that there's no such thing as a weekend warrior anymore, that this unit could find itself the tip of the sword.
We don't sugarcoat anything when we tell these Marines what their jobs are.
We're in this together. I mean, there is a very tight family bond between all these Marines and the Marine families in Lima Company.
Even as they bury Dustin, the Durgas say their thoughts and prayers remain in Iraq with the Lima Company and the Marines still in harm's way. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Columbus, Ohio.
And coming up, a forecast for the coming hurricane season and a look at how Florida's recovery from last season is going. That is tonight's Inside Story. But first, CBS News honors fallen heroes Kenneth Bradley, Kenny Ray, they called him. He was a bit of a prankster and loved music. He played trumpet, drums, and guitar. Before he left for Iraq, he built a guitar and warned his family, "If you ever get rid of this, I will come back to haunt you." Bradley died of an apparent heart attack at age 39. He leaves a wife and 2 children.
To help prevent a heart attack, 81 milligrams is the dose of aspirin doctors recommend most. So St. Joseph only makes that dose. The right atrium's where the process begins, where the CO tublet enters the heart. Through the tricuspid valve to the right ventricle, the pulmonary artery and lungs. Once inside the lungs, it dumps its carbon dioxide and picks up its oxygen supply. Then it's back to the heart, through the pulmonary vein, through the atrium and left ventricle.
Talk to your doctor. Aspirin's not right for everyone. St. Joseph, America's original, just for the heart.
I just started studying Alzheimer's when my grandmother was diagnosed. It was hard watching my daughter make great strides and seeing Grandma decline. I wanted to find the drug that would cure this disease. But even when you have everything you need, it takes about 15 years to get a drug ready. Some people think drug research is expensive, but I know it's worth it. One day we'll have Alzheimer's figured out, and for someone, it will be just in time.
GlaxoSmithKline. Today's medicines finance tomorrow's miracles.
According to a report of the U.S. Surgeon General, women who smoke during pregnancy increase their risk of pregnancy complications, premature delivery, low birth weight infants, stillbirth, and sudden infant death syndrome. At philipmorrisusa.com, you can find links to this and other information on the serious health effects of smoking. To reduce the health effects of smoking, the best thing to do is to quit. For more information, visit philipmorrisusa.com.
I'm not a patient man. Waiting, not my thing. 1 hour photo, too slow. Fast food, not fast enough. Heartburn, who has the time? I take new maximum strength Zantac. It's so fast I can take it before a meal to prevent heartburn or after to quickly relieve tough heartburn. And the leading prescription, it can take a day or more to fully work. That's just crazy talk. For me, maximum strength Zantac.
Hey, buddy, move it.
I like this guy.
New maximum strength Zantac, the speed you need against heartburn.
We're investing over $1 billion in North America. It began with a new design and research center and test track in California, a new engineering facility in Michigan, and now a state-of-the-art assembly plant in Alabama, creating thousands of new jobs across the country. The result will be a Hyundai like you've never seen before.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins in just 2 weeks, and it could be another bad one. Government forecasters predicted today there could be as many as 15 tropical storms, 9 with the potential to become hurricanes, and as many as 5 of those could be major hurricanes. The experts want Americans, especially in eastern and Gulf Coast states, to be ready. That's not a tough sell in parts of Florida, which is still trying to recover from the last hurricane season. Here's Jim Acosta with tonight's Inside Story.
The bulldozer is still the vehicle of choice in Pensacola Beach. Even though Hurricane Ivan crashed ashore here 8 months ago, homes here look like real estate roadkill. Now a new season of storms is just weeks away, and this Florida panhandle town is nowhere near ready.
We lost everything.
We saved one piece of furniture.
Tom and Wendy Brandon continue to live in a FEMA-provided trailer next to the sand-covered slab that was once their home.
Hell is about the best way to describe it.
That hell, unleashed by Florida's 4 powerful hurricanes last year, hasn't ended for many families. Instead of fast-moving storms, sluggish insurance companies are the menace.
Insurance companies don't stay in business by paying insurance claims. That's not how the formula works under American capitalism.
And that's left Marta Ray unable to finish repairs on her hotel.
You have to get permits, you have to get workers, you have to get supplies. Some people still have not seen insurance money.
Really?
And it's 8 months later.
Out of 12 hotels that were open for business before last hurricane season, only 2 are up and running now. For a town that depends on tourism as its lifeblood, Pensacola Beach is still on life support. But fly down the Gulf Coast to Punta Gorda and you'll find hope in all of the heartache.
Hang on! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hurricane Charlie's monstrous Category 4 winds simply blew away much of this town, leaving enough debris to build this 11 million pound mountain of scrap metal. But residents are mounting a comeback. They've hired a world-renowned urban designer who's sketching out Punta Gorda's future.
I think it's too big.
Stirring up passions over where all of the new buildings will go.
I think this is truly a grassroots movement of citizens who really wanted to come together and make something happen in a town that had been really devastated.
But even here, 2,000 people continue to live in a FEMA trailer park.
You want to walk away from it all. I'm tired. I'm very tired.
Tired with little time left to catch your breath. Jim Acosta, CBS News, Pensacola Beach.
And still to come, investing in real estate, why millions are jumping on the bandwagon in a special Eye on America series, Boom or Bust.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by Advil, strong, trusted pain relief.
With all the recent news on prescription pain relievers, you may be asking what's right for you. Talk to your doctor and ask about Advil. The fact is, no other over-the-counter pain reliever has been proven stronger or to last longer on tough pain than Advil. Not Tylenol, not Aleve. Advil has been trusted by millions for over 20 years. Ask your doctor if the strong, trusted pain relief of Advil is right for your kind of pain.
Mr. Goodwrench changed your brake pads and inspected your rotors?
That's right. We wouldn't trust our car to anyone but our GM dealer. Sit.
Looking for Mr. Goodwrench. So what's in the truck?
That would be tires.
Right, just checking.
Find Mr. Goodwrench at all GM dealerships nationwide.
Those poor, poor cows. Tires are made of rubber.
Those poor rubber cows.
I was just getting to the good part when Uncle Ernie dropped his tons. I'd seen that look before. It was heartburn. Before you could say duck sauce, I was there with my Pepsid Complete. I told him only Pepsid Complete starts to neutralize acid on contact and keeps heartburn from coming back all day or all night. In no time, Uncle Ernie was in Mushu heaven, and I had my eye on a spicy dumpling. Pepsid Complete, just one and heartburn's done.
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer, or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only Season-Long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season, or spend the season killing weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
Tonight at 10, when it's as bad as it gets, they are the last option.
We just got off of 440 on I-24.
Dedicated men and women called to the rescue. No day is ordinary.
Thinking, what are we going to deal with today?
It's extraordinary. Tonight, News Channel 5 takes off with Life Flight. Unrestricted access to the pilots and the patients they save. See the real-life drama unfold. Tonight on News Channel 5 at 10. Your news and information lead.
The housing industry has long been a bright spot in a struggling U.S. economy. With interest rates at historic lows, demand for houses has never been greater, driving prices even higher. More and more investors want in on the housing boom, but is it about to go bust? Tonight, Anthony Mason begins a special Eye on America series, Boom or Bust.
Washington architect Joe Nook wanted to redesign his retirement accounts.
Have you been disappointed by the stock market and by mutual funds?
The increases haven't been as substantial, obviously, as I would like them to be.
I'm sitting on this property.
So Nook decided to move some of his money.
This is the living dining room.
Yeah, it would be a living dining room combination. But
into real estate. He's looking to buy a second home.
I'm pretty sure it'd be easy to rent.
Basically, housing is just too tempting at this point as an investment?
Yes, pretty much in Washington right now.
Because in D.C., the median home price has risen 69% in the past 3 years. Stocks, by comparison, have risen less than 10% in the same time. Americans are buying second homes in record numbers. Listen to this. Last year, nearly a quarter of all the homes sold were bought for investment purposes.
The second home market is surging.
David LeRae, chief economist with the National Association of Realtors, says the boom has been fueled by baby boomers. But in some red-hot markets, he says, speculators are now driving up housing prices.
So there certainly is some risk. So there are certain pockets where they may be more vulnerable to a price bubble bursting than other areas of the country because of the speculative element.
So this is a property I really like.
Darryl Wortham says he's not speculating.
Not looking to get 50% return out in Vegas. I'm looking at steady returns of 5%, 10%.
Wortham, a tech project manager in California, has bought 3 houses this year in Georgia.
So I bought all of these properties really sight unseen.
That's right. He bought them online through an internet investment group.
So you can see they have all the pictures up here, so it makes it really easy to make the buy. You come down, you see the purchase button, that's all you have to do.
Wortham, who sold off many of his stocks, now prefers owning property.
Ooh, beautiful fitness center. It's really nice being able to get those keys and getting those checks in from the tenants. Oh, I love it.
Are you concerned there's a housing bubble?
At least there won't be a depression in terms of real estate.
You could rent it for $1,700 a month. And then
Joe Nook believes in the numbers.
It's a safer investment right now for me.
And for now, at least.
And I expect this to fly off the market.
Those numbers only seem to be going up.
And that's why the number of homes bought for investment purposes has jumped nearly 60% over the past 4 years, Bob.
Well, does anybody have any estimate of how long this is going to go on like this?
Well, the key factor driving this, baby boomers entering peak earning years with lots of money, retirement money they want to invest. Could go on for 5 years or more under those circumstances, but this speculative element now is making a lot of people concerned that we might have a bubble in which at least some of the air could come out.
You know, in Washington, people used to talk about politics all the time. Now all they talk about, real estate. Thank
Tells
you
you
very
something,
much.
Bob.
Thank you, Anthony. Home improvement companies led a big rally on Wall Street today. The Dow Industrials gained 112 points and NASDAQ picked up 17. Still to come, good news for wine lovers. The Supreme Court ruling says you can order wine directly from an out-of-state vineyard.
You don't eat steak with a butter knife. Don't drive a truck without the right equipment. Chevy Silverado Z71. Standard Vortec V8 to pull the weight. Off-road suspension to get through the tough stuff. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Now get up to $5,000 total cash back on select Silverado vehicles and inventory, but hurry, offer ends May 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
We look all right?
Well, I take pain medicine for my arthritis.
She takes it every day.
I didn't know it could put me at risk for stomach ulcers.
She didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know either.
If you take certain pain medications on a continuous basis and you're 60 or over, you may be at risk for a stomach ulcer.
I didn't want to give up my pain medicine, so my doctor...
Dr. Wagner is a very smart man.
...prescribed Nexium.
To take with her pain medicine.
For people at risk, one prescription Nexium pill a day can help reduce the chance of a stomach ulcer caused by certain pain medications.
My doctor did say that headaches, diarrhea,
and abdominal pain
could be side effects of Nexium.
Talk to your doctor and find out if Nexium, the purple pill, is right for you. For a free trial offer, call 1-800-79-NEXIUM or visit us online.
Now she doesn't worry so much about ulcers. It's nice.
If you're without prescription coverage and can't afford your medications, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Hey, toilet here. Please stop the running. Not just the old handle jiggle. It's the oldest trick in the book.
Don't tighten this screw up too tight or you'll crack the porcelain.
Okay. Thanks, Tim. And don't forget to fix that chair.
Ace, the helpful place.
My doctor said I needed fiber, but Metamucil is thick and gritty. My doctor said I should take Benefiber. Benefiber has just as much fiber and never gets thick or gritty. Ask your doctor about Benefiber. For me, the choice is clear.
Look, Mold, she's about to choose a seasonal allergy medicine.
Pick one of those. You could be suffering in 6 hours.
Choose any of those. You could be drowsy. Allegra 180!
Lasts all day and non-drowsy.
Why did I even pack those others?
Not one of these allergy medicines can give you long-lasting seasonal allergy relief without the risk of drowsiness. But Allegra 180 can.
Non-drowsy Allegra's worked all day.
For people 12 and over, side effects alone may include headache, cold, or backache. Allegra's gonna work all night, too. Long-lasting Allegra. The relief goes on.
Coming up in just minutes on News Channel 5 at 6, he was accused of killing a little boy in a sensational case. Now he's up for parole, but will it be granted? Find out tonight at 6.
In medical news, there are 2 new studies about surviving cancer out today. One found breast cancer patients significantly cut the risk of the cancer coming back by switching to a low-fat diet. The other study finds that an aspirin a day offers protection against a recurrence of colon cancer. Finally, tonight, wine lovers may want to drink a toast to the Supreme Court. The court today threw out laws that ban consumers from one state from buying wine directly from a vineyard in another state. This could lead to a big boom in wine sales on the internet. Here's Cheryl Atkinson.
Juanita Swedenberg is the real little old winemaker.
It makes a better wine to be doing it by hand.
Her small vineyard in Middleburg, Virginia, is no more than a sip of the $23 billion wine market. But it's thanks to her that discriminating palates near and far can now order direct from their favorite out-of-state winery for the first time.
The winery will be more prosperous, and we will not have to worry so much about paying the taxes.
Swedenberg challenged laws in New York and many other states banning out-of-state wineries from selling direct to consumers. That includes internet sales. Today, the Supreme Court agreed that's unfair.
And the ruling's not just for wine lovers. It could also affect beer and other alcohol, too. States and wholesalers that had total control over sales until now fought Swedenberg, saying they'd lose big on taxes and profits if cut out of the loop, and it would be harder to control underage sales.
Because it's not just about one little old lady in Middleburg, Virginia. It's about the entire structure of the alcohol beverage regulatory and distribution system.
But with the Supreme Court backing Juanita, corks are popping across America.
I don't know what's next. This is the top. This is the best.
Swedenberg does know one thing. With a chance to reach so many new palates, she hopes to expand her family's vineyards and transform her share of the market from a sip into a gulp. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Middleburg, Virginia.
And that's the news. I'm Bob Schieffer, CBS News in New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart, where you can find everything you and your family need at everyday low prices. Walmart, always low prices, always. When homes don't sell, our series Boom or Bust continues tomorrow. Experience CBS News.
You're going to have people watching television going, I don't want to go downtown.
At least 2 shootings in 4 weeks on 2nd Avenue. Now safety is a growing concern. Tonight, tough talk about cracking down.
And he sits in prison for murdering a child, but now he's up for parole. Should he get it? Listen to the case and you decide.
Plus, Elvis has not only left the building, he's just plain missing.
The news is now.
From your news and information leader, winner of the Emmy for News Excellence, this is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening. It's a Nashville hotspot, but some would say it's too hot, even dangerous.
Bullets are bad for business, and now merchants on 2nd Avenue say enough is enough. There was another shooting there this past weekend. News Channel 5's Nick Barris tells us what's planned to prevent more violence.
During the day, it's easy and safe on 2nd Avenue. But after dark, things can change. More people, more drinking, and of late, more violence. There was another shooting, the second in 4 weeks, along the popular strip lined with bars and restaurants. This time,